Hello, and welcome to Brevard Weekly Live. I'm your host, Joanne Johnson. With us today in the studio, I'm honored to have here our guests, Garen and Kim Cohn of the American Veterans Empowerment Team Project, or better known as the AVET Project. Hello, and thank you, Garen and Kim, for being here.
Thank you, Joanne.
Thank you. Tell me about AVET. What does the project stand for?
Well, as you mentioned, it's an acronym, meaning American Veterans Empowerment Team. We're a 501c3 all-volunteer nonprofit, which means that nobody gets a paycheck. If you're involved with AVET Project, it's because
you have the passion. That's the bottom line.
And you want to help those that protect our nation.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. It's really wonderful. So what brought about the project?
Well, as an Air Force veteran myself and then a retired legal advocate for veterans, we recognized the need was huge in trying to fill some of the problems and face some of the issues that these guys and gals are dealing with.
Well, not only that, but when they get out of the military, a lot of times they don't know what kind of benefits are out there available for them. So we try to fill that void.
That's really just such a great avenue for you to go in to see that there's such a need, because there are so many. But tell me about the programs that you have.
Well, we have 7 core programs and a host of ancillary ones. Some of the 7 core programs, the primary ones are the PR&R Project Recuperation Reintegration Retreat, which I know you'll have a picture of here in a moment.
Yeah, big need there. We got 23, committing suicide. When you're on high vigilance for 365 days, looking over your shoulder, looking everywhere, and then you come back into civilian world, you got to try to decompress, and you don't have to be concerned about fireworks going off or bags over on the side of the street, those kind of things.
PR&R brings together a lot of resources that the soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines might not otherwise be exposed to, such as screening for PTSD and traumatic brain injury, as well as suicide risk assessment and prevention, relaxation techniques and methods, coping skills. It's a comprehensive program, but it's a short retreat, 4 days, 3 nights, but we get a lot done, and at the end of it, they actually have a individualized action plan, which is like a roadmap on how to overcome some of the issues they're facing.
I'm just amazed at what they go through, and to come back, and what a great service you're providing for them. That's just really fabulous. How do you become eligible? How do they become eligible for the services that you offer?
Well, we like to say past and present military members and their families. We try not to exclude anybody. If they have a dishonorable discharge, then they really can't participate in some of the programs. If they're on active duty, we have a bunch of programs like the EEB, Empowerment Equipment Box, which is our enhanced care package. If they're on active duty and you're watching this, then go to avetproject.org, click on the button, and we'll send them one of these EEBs. If they're a veteran, all they have to do to engage one of our programs or services is provide their DD-214, their discharge document.
Along with the photo ID. There's too many out there that are what we call stolen valor. So we verify that they are in true a veteran.
So basically, they just need to contact you.
Yes.
Start immediately. Contact you, and then you can direct them to what services are available.
That's exactly
I believe
right.
they have some photographs, some clips here of some stuff of their. You said you had one of the programs that you had recently, I believe, was a Christmas project. Is that right?
Every year.
AVET Florida Brevard Toy Run.
This is a perfect example of one of our outreaches. The community gets together for the AVET annual toy run. This was our 32nd.
Yep.
And we collect a bunch of toys to then disperse out to the active duty components. And even though these soldiers, sailor, airmen, and Marines may have money to purchase toys for their children. That's a big may. If we give them to them, they can divert that cash to pay their utility bills and things like that.
Yes.
It's a win-win for the community, the military, and of course, our reward is that we get to put smiles on their faces.
That's right.
Yes, the children, and of course, Christmas having, toys at Christmas is always a great thing.
And in that photo, you could see some of the coasties from our Port Canaveral station helping with the project. Because
I think we have that clip as well of the Coast Guard, correct, carrying some of the packages.
Yep,
There
that's
we
some
go.
of our volunteers, and heading over there to the Coast Guard party. We have Santa waiting and Mrs. Claus, and it's just great. The kids just love it. They get a package and get to see Santa. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, the toy run continues to grow every year, doesn't it?
Oh,
It keeps getting bigger and bigger.
It does, it does.
I think there was thousands, 20,000 or something was the last
This
one?
year, it was off a bit because of the rain. The weather kind of put a
Yeah,
damper on it, but the rest of the community pulled through and helped us meet our obligations to serve.
Papa Vito's, to mention Leslie. A number of people and companies have pulled together to help us.
Yeah, that's great. I also have some other pictures, some of the other projects and events that you do. You were talking about the Rest and Recuperation Project that you have.
PR&R, very important, very impactful. It really changes their lives.
Now, to explain some of that, that's really where you bring the soldier. This is for a soldier that's come back, and it's time for him to be with his family and to just decompress. Is that really what happens?
Exactly.
It's just to,
Well,
Yes.
there isn't any organization or the VA or the DoD that's offering a comprehensive retreat that educates them on what their potential VA benefits are, whether it's a disability compensation claim, education, home loan guarantee, a number of different things that even though they may go through a transition assistance class before they exit the military, they're not getting everything that they need. And this particular program fills that need, and it also provides a bunch of other stuff.
Well, our empowerment tools, sadly to say, our VA is always, they have pain issues or PTSD, TBI injuries and whatnot. They're always into pushing meds, sad to say. And a lot of our vets don't want to take those meds. If there's an alternative method out there that is more natural, we're going to help them with that. So we provide them with alpha stems to EMDR therapy, infrared, which
massage.
Yeah, the fixed therapy, they always are helping us with our retreats, and they do this for free.
That's a great service, because I'm being a soldier and putting up with that and for the length of time to come back is what a nice thing that you're doing and providing for them and letting them know that there's people that care,
That's right.
well as to just even give them a focal ground point to start at. So
and it's all free for them too. We
Yeah.
feel that our military past and present have already paid the cost. So we look for sponsors and donations to help with that, so it is free to our military family.
And I think we, again, have some clips of some of the retreats that you've had, some of the people that have at the retreats.
Sure.
Yes,
And at the conclusion of the retreat, again, it's a short one, it's 4 days, 3 nights, they get a IAP, Individualized Action Plan, which is like a bullet point or a roadmap on how they can overcome some of the issues they're facing.
We actually, our last retreat, we had a couple of military husband and wife that both served. So we had them on the retreat, and we offered marriage counseling as well. And here you'll just see some of our military.
The alternative therapies that are offered also, rather than the meds. We've got some non-pharmacological ways that they can address.
Hypnotherapy, acupuncture, all that.
Yeah, the massage, everything.
You bet.
Because the meds, it's unfortunate that it's such a push for the military and for everybody right now on the meds. So that's another great alternative that you're providing to everybody. And that was someone to wear with the dolphin?
Yes,
Exactly. Get them out there on a recreational activity. And that particular one, it was Atlantis. Thank you, everybody at Atlantis.
Yes.
Providing an opportunity for some of the warriors to get out into the water with the dolphins. It's a lot of fun.
Wow, that's
Yes.
what a treat. And well deserved.
Yes.
Truly.
Truly
They earned
deserved, for sure. Which project do you feel right now has the greatest need from the community that people can help with?
Our PR&R. We have
The one
23
we're
that are
talking
committing
about.
suicide a day. So we need to do whatever we can to help them transition back into civilian life.
Now, do you have a set location where the soldiers actually go and you're working with like a ranch and a location? And
We have 2 different venues. One is in Oregon on the banks of the Rogue River. The other is here on the Space Coast, and we have to switch locations based on what wonderful person comes up with a facility large enough to host the retreats. Because we do take men and women warriors separate, anywhere from 8 to 18 warriors at a time. Keep the group size small so that we can affect each of them more personally, I guess I would say.
Well, I'm sure your success rate, let's say, or the appreciation rate of what you're doing has got to be astronomical of these soldiers coming back and having such a great service provided by you for them to just know that there are people that care and that they can recoup and relax and at the same time know how to plan their future.
And we have heard just those words from our veterans that have participated in our retreats, so yes.
The
you're right,
testimonials
Joanne.
are they've never felt this relaxed, even
Or haven't
before.
slept this good until, before combat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's just absolutely wonderful.
And when you take one of these soldiers that knew nothing about their potential benefits and end up putting real money, whether it's through an educational benefit or a disability compensation claim with the VA, then they can help support their families. While
And
they're
that's one
dealing
less
with
stress.
while they're dealing with their unemployment situations, they've got money coming in, and these are things they may never have found out about had they not gone to PR&R.
That
That's
is
right.
just absolutely amazing because it's true. It opens them up to giving them the chance to really come back and readjust as well as find these opportunities that you're providing to them that they have. It's just a wonderful thing.
It certainly is.
Well, we're going to have to take a quick commercial break real quick, and when we return, we're going to find out about some of your upcoming events with the AVET project. So we'll be back after these words from our sponsors. Welcome back to Brevard Weekly Live. I'm your host, Joanne Johnson. With us today in the studio are Garen and Kim Cohn of the AVET project. Welcome back again.
Yes.
Welcome
All
to you
right.
again.
Tell me, we have a project for AVET coming up, and it is around the 15th of February. Tell me about it.
It's around February 15th. We really don't know, but we have the 715 MP company that's right here with the Florida National Guard that's going to be returning from a year deployment. So we're looking together to get donations and to get Americans out there waving their flags for when they return, which we are thinking is going to be Melbourne Airport, but we're not going to know for sure. So stand by and check out our Facebook page and our website.
Fantastic. So that'll give us information on how we can, as a citizen, can
Yes.
participate,
Sure.
or any of the family members can
Oh, yes.
participate.
Yep.
And they've been out for a year over in Afghanistan. This is their third deployment to
Yeah.
Afghanistan. There's over 100 of them, and their mission has been a very dangerous one, but they're coming back. Most of them are just fine.
And that's the biggest question I was going to ask. Everybody is returning safely, correct?
There were some injuries, but no battlefield-related injuries, so we're really happy about that.
Yes, praise Jesus that everybody's coming home safely. That's fabulous. Now, will they be deployed again, or do you know?
It's always a possibility, probably not before our other local unit, the 124th out of Cocoa.
Right.
So hopefully this whole war will wrap up and we'll be able to keep them all home here to protect the homeland and
Right.
meet their need for humanitarian relief and national disasters.
Yeah,
So
hopefully everybody gets to stay and nobody goes over there. What is the best way for volunteers to connect with you, and what is your best need for people?
We're always in need of volunteers, donations, sponsors, and they can do that right on AVET Project. There's a volunteer button. Just click on that, fill out the information. It asks for your email. We'll get back in touch with you.
And there's a secure PayPal tab if you have money, whether it's $1, $5, or $500.
That's right. It all
Everything that
adds up.
comes in, 96 cents of every dollar goes directly to our programs and services. Not many nonprofits can boast about that, but we're happy to do that because, like I said, nobody's getting a paycheck. Everything that comes in is going to be put back out in deliverables to the populations that we serve.
And to recap, one of the best organizations or projects that you're focusing on is the Rest and Recuperation
That's right.
Project,
That's right.
correct?
Yes,
For sure.
Yes, it is.
Okay, fantastic. Anything else? You have some more events coming up. Let
Yes,
me know.
we do. We actually have January 23rd. It's going to be at Eastern Florida State College at your Melbourne campus. And it's about our women. When they come marching, actually it's called When Women Come Marching Home. Because, you know, sad to say, we have military sexual trauma that they deal with, too many of them. From
Along with
amputees.
PTSD and TBI and all the things that affect the male warriors, combine that with some of the special challenges that our female warfighters deal with. This is a worthwhile, take a moment with your family. It's free. RSVP Sandy Frimmer at EFSC, and come see the show because afterwards,
We're actually going to have a panel discussion with some of our doctors that actually work with AVET Project and helping those. So we're going to be offering some empowerment tools and educating them because, again, American Veterans Empowerment Team is here to empower a military family.
Yeah, that's just fabulous. And it's such a sad thing to think that as a woman, you're already risking your life to be in these circumstances. And then at the same time, you may be dealing with sexual abuse
From your own brothers.
And your own brothers or sisters
Yes,
that you're
yeah,
out there.
yeah.
So recap for us again. It's tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow, Thursday, January 23rd at your Eastern Florida State College campus at Melbourne. It's going to be from 5:30, and it's going to run until about 8 o'clock, so around about there.
and keep in mind, it isn't just about MST, the military sexual trauma, but
No,
simply the separation anxieties that all our warfighters suffer from these multiple deployments. We're wringing out our troops, particularly the National Guard, reserves, and even the active duty components. We're asking so much of them, sending them into imminent danger areas and combat arenas, that we've got to do everything we can. And this is a outreach by the college and the Disabled American Veterans and these wonderful women that produced the entire project.
Yes, Marsha and Patricia did an awesome job, and it's been actually shown on PBS as well. But we do, you know, they got some women that have lost their legs, you know, and coming back and coping with that. It's just, you know, it's really a hard thing, so.
To be, I mean, it's enough in the economy right now fighting for a job, but to come back with a disability as well as some post-traumatic stress or sexual abuse. I mean, it's amazing what these people go through to give us our rights and our freedoms.
We would not be here if it wasn't for our past and present military, you know?
It's amazing.
Exactly. That's why everyone wants to come to our country.
Yes, yes,
And
because we do
Joanne,
have the freedoms.
I will let you know that on American Warrior Radio, which is the other
Yes,
panel
tell us
we
about
have back
that.
here, We had one of the producers, Patricia Van Stotter, on for a lengthy interview, kind of gave us some information about this some months ago. If you are interested at all or know somebody that is about a veteran or military issue, every Saturday from 11 to noon on American Warrior Radio, locally here on the Space and Treasure Coast at AM 1300, worldwide at 1300WMEL.com. You can look under our archives tab. We list them by title so they're easy to identify, and check it out, a little preview of what you're going to see before you see the screening tomorrow night. And one thing I have to get out there, because suicide risk and prevention is such a hot button issue when we're losing how many a day?
23.
23 vets. I'll throw this statistic. I know numbers are numbers, but in calendar year 2012, the Army declared that they had 312 military combat deaths. There were 329 active duty suicides. Wow. So this is an epidemic. And my co-host on American Warrior Radio, Glenn McGuffey, he's a retired Air Force and retired County Veterans Service Office Supervisor. His moniker is, suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. And if we can get that drilled into people's minds, not just those that may be affected and dealing with that sense of hopelessness, but those that know them best, and they can identify some of the red flags.
Correct.
Permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Well, you can see why. I mean, it's the economy right now and everything is the way it is already, and for these soldiers to be coming back and facing, some of them, bankruptcy or foreclosure or anything else, and the suicide is just, I mean, what a sad thing to think that our country, our freedom is being founded upon these people that are just, you know, choosing to end their lives. And so it is a very, very sad epidemic across this country right now.
Yeah, actually, it's sad to say that our 715 MP company that it's going to be returning, there's about 104 of them. A lot of them are coming back to no jobs.
Yeah,
so
roughly 4 out of 10 of these returning warriors right here are going to be unemployed.
Whether the companies have gone out of business or whatnot. So yeah, it's just we got to do whatever we can to help them.
Well, you're doing an absolutely fabulous job for the community, and we can't thank you enough, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Thank you. So if you're a vet or you know a vet and you have a situation, please direct them to the AVET project. Let them know that there are resources for them that are out there. If there's anybody that's out there that's a vet that's considering suicide, please, we thank you for what you've done for our country, and we ask you to please reconsider. Talk to these folks. They're going to help you out. They're going to give you a crisis hotline. They're going to give you help to get resources. You don't have to take that last step. You've come and served our country, and we appreciate you, and we thank you for what you've done. On that note, I'd like to let you know that you can find additional information on the AVET project at www.avetproject.org. Additionally, you can also find information on Facebook at www.facebook.com/AVET project. We would like to take this time to thank all branches of the military, and we'd like to especially thank all of the men and women for their service, dedication, and commitment to our country. God bless all of you. Thank you very much, and we'll have you tune in next week. We will have Colonel McCrander from the Air Force Reserve 920th Rescue Wing. Thank you, and we'll see you next week on Brevard Weekly Live.